Hey guys, I wanted to share with you one of my stories about an experience I had that was really demotivating for me back when I was working at a law firm here in Jackson. And I was not the best employee in the whole wide world. I will openly admit that. I knew that legal issues and that kind of stuff was not going to be my long-term career path. It was a job I had just as a kind of an in-between stage while I finished my MBA and before I kind of decided what else I was going to do. And I was there for a couple years. But I remember when I first started working there, I loved the job. I loved my boss. I was really excited to be there. A lot of the honeymoon stage, all that kind of fun stuff, right? And then I was there about a year and a half before we ever had a real, what I'd call, annual evaluation. I guess I must have just come in the first time and just barely missed it or something. And we sat down and they told me kind of what needed to be worked on and what needed to be done. And it wasn't anything shocking. It was things I knew I needed to work on. It was mainly answer the phone because I really don't like talking on the phone. So I would let things go to voicemail and then respond. So I got in trouble for that. But overall, that wasn't, they were happy with my work. I was getting things done, and they were happy enough that they gave me a bit of a raise. It wasn't anything awesome, but it was something. And of course, the first thing they tell you is don't talk to anyone else about your raise or what you've gotten or anything. So of course, the first thing we do is we all get together at a lunch break and go have lunch off site somewhere, and we're all talking about what's going on. And I find out that pretty much straight across the board, they just gave everyone the same raise. Now, if they had said it was a cost of living raise, that was different, but they explained it as a performance-based raise. And I got really frustrated because I'm looking at some other people. And again, I was not the number one best employee, I know that. But I was also not the worst employee. There were several people I worked with that would spend their entire day on chat rooms, instant messaging back and forth. Like, they worked together side by side and they would instant message each other constantly. There was nothing but a cubicle wall between the two of them. And yet they got the same amount of pay raise as I got, which, as I was told, it was performance-based, not cost of living. So after that, I pretty much just coasted. I was younger and I hadn't had my MBA classes and I didn't understand performance and all that kind of stuff and the right way and the proper way to do things. And if you haven't had that organizational behavior, you'll talk about that kind of stuff. But again, it was very demotivating, and I would say within a few months of that, I quit and left the job. I used to be one that would come in early, and if they needed me to do stuff, I would take work home on the weekends, whatever needed to be done. And after I realized it didn't matter how hard I worked, that I was just going to be treated the same as the employees that everyone could see were not doing a very good job. They were goofing around, not doing their work. I kind of wasn't willing to do anymore, right? And now I've had education and I've had classes in psychology, and I understand the psychology behind that. And so that's just something to keep an eye out for with your employees. I'm sure you've had it done to you. Almost anyone I've ever talked to about this has had it happen to them. Even if it's something as simple as, I was on the sports team and this guy got this and I didn't get that, and I worked harder and I never missed practices, but yet he was the one that got rewarded. It's the same concept. You just kind of lose motivation. You lose faith in your leader and you don't want to help out anymore. So I hope you're enjoying this article. I know it was a really short article, but sometimes the short ones are the ones that are packed with the most information. And I look forward to seeing y'all next week. Bye.